iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
The following is paid programming. The views are not necessarily those of this station. We are the talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Now you official now, but you got a soul to say. I just been cooking that note. I'm about to drop in the few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Brothers and sisters, we are back on WVON 1690. This is the talk of Chicago. The name of our program is Straight Words. We are here with you every Tuesday night from 9 p.m. until midnight with a great cast of intellectual brothers who are astute in the teachings, the life-giving teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, followers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, our great editor-in-chief of the greatest newspaper on the planet, the Final Call newspaper. Our big brother Naba'a Richard Muhammad is on. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Brother BJ. I would say I'm not the astute one. I'm just a fool who was wise enough to follow the one who is astute. And even a wise man can make a fool look good. All he got to do is repeat what he been told and bear witness to the truth. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Well, let's bring on the brother that we talking about. This brother right here is a trainer of editors.
No, hey,
he's a student. Hold on, let me get my thing in, brother. I got to give you props. I know you shy. You humble. We already know you humble, brother. But we're going to say this while you living. Our great brother, former editor-in-chief of the Final Call newspaper, the trainer of Brother Naba'a Richard Muhammad, the great Brother James G. Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. What Brother Naba'a said, brother, that's exactly my sentiment. And I appreciate you giving me the shout-out, man. But we were all wise enough to be obedient to a message that we heard, brother, and it absolutely has changed and saved our lives, as I'm sure it's yours, as being such an astute, honorable, and Hall of Fame winning broadcaster.
That's right.
Who's been in this field for many years. You know, I think we got to put that on you, brother. You're the astute one. You got this train running. You got the train running, brother.
Well, of course, all of us will never take credit for what Allah has bestowed upon us as our gift to communicate. So all praise is due to Almighty God. So thank y'all for tuning in.
Amen.
Brothers and sisters, we love y'all. That's why we're here. And you can get in on the conversation right now because we hot. You can tell we hype. We ready to talk. 773-591-1690. 773-591-1690. Jump on the line. Brother Naba'a, where we starting at first, big bro?
Oh, you know, brothers, man, I really feel good.
Okay.
You know?
Yes.
And I'm going to get right into it because, Brother James, I want us to have time to talk about it. And if the callers want to get in. So first we're going to have a little discussion in this hour. Next hour we're going to get to boycotting Black Friday and talking about redistributing the pain. Then at 11, our great brother Eugene Perrier is coming in to talk international news with us, and he just got back from a trip to Niger. So I'm telling you, man, you need to kind of tune in with us. I want to thank everybody that gave to help us. You really helped out a lot, including you, Brother James, including you, Brother DJ, for your referral.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes, sir.
And, man, we still need your help. So you can go to straightwords.com and you can find out how to help us through Zelle, PayPal, and Cash App. Or you can hit our text line, 312-480-9775. Now, on to the work. Well, that's the work, but on to the work here. Brothers, you know, and sisters, if you're listening, there's been a lot of angst in the country. There's been a lot of unsettled kinds of feelings due to recent social, political, economic events. So we were listening to, and we got something from, what is it? It's the Land podcast, right, brother?
Yes,
brother
sir.
BJ? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And this is what, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying we got Tiffany Cross, Angela Rye, and Andrew Gillum. And they are the host of this new podcast. It's been out for about this year. Started right before the election cycle. They got about 54 episodes. And, of course, you were familiar with them for MSNBC, CNN. Of course, Andrew Gillum was the former mayor of Tallahassee, Florida. And he ran for governor and almost got it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got the politician, Andrew Gillum. You got the trained journalist, Tiffany Cross, as Brother BJ said, who hosted her own show on MSNBC. Then you got Angela Rye, who works for the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, and she was also one time a contributor on CNN. Brother BJ, can we get to the first clip, and we'll start the conversation there?
Okay, let's, Brother Deontay, we're going to play, let's play the election cut, the one that says the election. You can go ahead and play that now. Okay.
All right.
20 seconds, brother. You almost got it.
Stand by, everybody.
Yeah,
I think this might be a good one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is going to be a good conversation. They're hitting on some points, but this cut we're going to listen to is about, like Brother Naba'a was saying, some of the angst that you're hearing, and they had one of their listeners to chime in and ask them a question about what do we do, where do we go from here. So that's what you are about to hear. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about the election. All right, so let's roll that clip.
How do we grapple with the reality of what just happened?
I was hoping that we could kind of succinctly go through like the stages of grief because they have been so extreme. And I think that there are so many people at home, including just based on that question, who can relate to that. I've gone from deep sadness and depression, like Andrew mentioned. I was waking up in the middle of the night going, like, is this real? And then I went through denial, which was like, okay, clearly this thing was stolen. Who did he steal votes from? Last time he was looking for votes, so clearly he must have found the votes. And then I talked to campaign staff who shall remain nameless. And the rage that I feel for these staffers and the things that they've been through, I'm angry now. And I'm sad because I will be damned if they rest this at the feet of Kamala D. Harris.
Brothers and sisters, I want you heard Angela Rye, and she was talking about the stages of what, grief? I hope you heard that part, right?
Yes,
Can we
sir.
replay that real quick? Because it's not that long. Can we replay it again? Is that a problem? Okay, because I know
right.
we jazzing it tonight, y'all. We just improvise.
How do we grapple with the reality of what just happened?
I was hoping that we could kind of succinctly go through like the stages of grief because they have been so extreme. And I think that there are so many people at home, including just based on that question, who can relate to that. I've gone from deep sadness and depression, like Andrew mentioned. I was waking up in the middle of the night going, like, is this real? And then I went through denial, which was like, okay, clearly this thing was stolen. Who did he steal votes from? Last time he was looking for votes, so clearly he must have found the votes. And then I talked to campaign staff who shall remain nameless. And the rage that I feel for these staffers and the things that they've been through, I'm angry now. And I'm sad because I will be damned if they rest this at the feet of Kamala D. Harris.
Yeah. Thank you. So, brothers and sisters, I wanted you, as we begin this conversation, to focus on, that was Angela Rye, one of the hosts and originator of the Land podcast. It's on one of the big platforms. I won't mention the name, but anyway, you can find them if you want to. But stages of grief, waking up in the middle of the night, denial, saying, well, he must have stole the election. All of these different emotions, crying. And we've heard other people's relay this. Other people relay these kinds of feelings. And for me, Brother BJ and I were having a discussion, Brother James, and I went back and I listened to that whole episode. But I wanted to say, brothers and sisters, that's one narrative. It's not the only narrative. It's not the only view. It's not the only analysis. It's not the only way about what we should be thinking about what happened with, the latest election, right?
Right.
Because I think it kind of leads us to where do we go from here? We talk about what, going back to the Democratic plantation? And I want you to notice how on these cable stations, Brother James, now you got all these white men showing up in cowboy hats. Check that out.
Yeah, they're empowered.
So I'm talking about as analysts, Brother James. As Democratic Party analysts. They're showing up on MSNBC, CNN, and you're right, they have been empowered this whole thing. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to try to make a couple points that I hope they make sense to you.
So, Brother Naba'a, can I ask
James.
a question before you go?
Sure.
So you mentioned that you got some analysts showing up in cowboy hats. And you mentioned that to say what?
To say that the Democratic Party is asking the question, what next, right? So when they ask that question, what next, right? And they're talking about doing a postmortem of the election. And they're talking about doing an analysis of the party. And they're talking about where do they need to go, right? When you start seeing white Democratic strategists and thinkers showing up in cowboy hats, that's showing you they talking about going to the right.
Well, that was my point. That was my point when I said empowered, because, like you said, they never were there before. And all of a sudden now you got that. Well, what does, to your point, what message is that saying? And what do you associate, like when you say the cowboy hat? I mean, there's an image that comes up with that statement. And so what's the Democratic Party telling us then? I'm sorry for interrupting, but I had to get a little clarity on that point.
I think that's a great question, Brother James. Look, brothers and sisters, and this is just part of what we want to get into, because I want to get into the narratives, but I think what we're trying to do is lay out some things for you to look at, right? And for you to pay attention to and for you to consider, right? I'll say this. Any of y'all that remember Bill Clinton, right? Remember, he comes after what? About black folk being in the political wilderness for about 12 years, right? I think 3 years of Republican administrations, right? When Clinton enters the scene, was it 92, Brother James, or am I off?
He was like 92.
92?
Yeah, 92, then 96 to 2000.
Yeah. So, remember this, brothers and sisters. Or if you don't know, check this out. Clinton comes out of Arkansas. Matter of fact, Hope, Arkansas. He's a former Arkansas governor, right?
That's right.
He has a slightly Kennedy-esque look, right? He's been dealing with politics, they say, pretty much all his life with an idea to come toward where he eventually ended up. But he's a Southerner. He's a governor. He talks about how he's not, afraid to deal with black people. But he's not just any old Democrat, brothers and sisters. Clinton is a quote-unquote what? New Democrat. And what does this new Democrat do? He believes in bombing people around the world. He believes in the death penalty, right? He believes And pretty much all of the things that the Republicans back then were about, but he's Republican light. So he's a little kinder and a little gentler on his face. When he's running for president, he executes a mentally, a mentally impaired, or mentally, a brother who did not have full sense of his faculties. He executes this man, signs his execution, signs his death warrant while running for president. And what happens? So what do you get under Clinton? You get a massive crime bill. What do you get under Clinton? You get the demonization of black men. What do you get under Clinton? You get talk about children as super predators. What do you get under Clinton? I said mass incarceration, right? You get these punitive laws about crack versus powder cocaine. And if they weren't passed under him, they were strengthened under him. We know that mass incarceration, certainly, and that crime bill exploded under him. And many black lawmakers sided with him because of the violence and because they were essentially told you had nowhere to go. And blacks that didn't want to ride with him were basically told, you better just ride with us because the Republicans don't want you. So this is all you got. You better get on board. This is Bill Clinton, who came to Operation Push. Jesse Jackson had run for president in 1984 and 1988. He had brought black people into the party. He had made the party structure a little more empowering, if I could use that term, for black voters. For blacks in the party. So now during the primaries, you get proportional representation. That only happened because of Reverend Jackson's run, supported by Minister Farrakhan at that time, and others, right? Right. You got the superdelegates. These were essentially blacks who were officials, elected officials, etc. This was to give black folks, again, a stronger voice, a higher amount of power in the party. Okay, I hope that's clear, right? Right. So that comes after the Democrats had been locked out of power for 12 years. New Democrat, mass incarceration, we for the death penalty, we for bombing people all over the planet. And we red, white, and blue. Where do you think the party's headed now? That's what the cowboy hat represents. Mm-hmm. Wow. It represents, again, going after those white voters because we ran Dr. Ricky Jones' outstanding analysis last week where he said this, which we saw play out in voting booths, and the results was about an embrace of white supremacy. And one of the things so I wanted us to kind of see that and also see this, right? But that whole despair, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Everybody doesn't feel that. Even though many of you may feel that, because I'm sure probably millions of our people do, even though a lot of them, like black women, is saying, I'm done, though. Don't call me to save America, not damn more time. I'm done. Y'all do what you want to do. Right. Give the winner everything that he wants. Don't call me. I'm going to be home dealing with my family, my husband, my friends, and living my best life, right? So there's another narrative, and the narrative goes something like this, brothers and sisters. To kind of quote Dr. Ricky Jones, God is sending us a message. Have we gotten it yet? Right. Have we gotten it yet? Well, what is that message, Brother Naba'a? Perhaps, brothers and sisters, I'm saying just maybe, after 500 years almost in this country, maybe we are at the point, right, where we understand that we have to take our own destiny in our own hands, where we have to fight to be unified. Just like we fought for inclusion, we have to now fight for unity among one another because it's not over and the system is dying. But we've been saying to you every week, brothers and sisters, you just saw it ain't work for us, what, again? Not for the first time, not for the second time, not for the third time. over and over again. So we're saying this ain't a time for despair if we make the right choices and understand the time and what must be done. Y'all can jump in any time you want.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right, Brother Naba. I just hope what you said is true, that our people are saying, we had enough. Y'all go get go get boo-boo and somebody else, because we're paying attention to our own thing right now, because, as you know, there's two things that's going to happen here. Number one, the new administration is coming in, and the kind of the handwriting is on the wall. You can see that. So conditions are going to change drastically, depending on where you stand, for the better or for the worse, or for whatever is necessary. So basically, the new administration is going to bring in a lot of new things, and we're just going to have to deal with whatever those consequences are. But I believe that it's going to force us to do exactly what you said our sisters are saying. Hey, we just got to focus on self, focus on our families, and we got to get rid of we got to have, and I'm going to say it this way, we got to have leadership that's going to kind of galvanize us and show the way forward as a united community and people. Not that not that leaders are going to be out there just we ain't going to be walking down the road and the sea going to part. But we got to have visions coming out of those who have vision, and that will, as the minister did in his directing for the gathering of the Million Man March. That was a vision that he worked to bring about. The conference that the NAACP held under Dr. Chavis back in the day, where he brought all the leaders of various perspectives around the table to talk about what Black America, where we are and what we need. That was broken up, obviously, by the enemy. But, all of these visions and mission statements that we have put forward from Black communities, we got to figure out how do we activate them and move forward to do something for ourselves and build an economy, especially for ourselves, and as this economy collapses, actually.
Right.
So I'm in agreement with you, brother.
Yeah. Are you getting that?
Yeah. Isn't it a shame that our people are only considering one model, and that's, elections and stuff? We are not even talking about unity and, all right, y'all, we need to marshal our forces within our community. We got to do for self. They're getting ready to do X, Y, and Z. And it's like we're waiting around for them to choose somebody else to put in front of us that we can rally behind, and wait 4 years until the next election. And nobody's talking about, why is it that you see all the talking heads, all the politicians and people that are always on TV talking, they never talk about Black unity and Black people need to come together and do something for themselves? Why is that? What are they afraid of? But we know what they're afraid of, because you're going to get your check taken, because they don't want all that Black talk on CNN and MSNBC. You may sound tough, like you're doing, you're doing some tough talk, like you hear how I handled them white folks tonight on my show, like Joy Reid. I like Joy Reid, but I don't hear her talking about Black people coming together and doing for selves or suffering the consequences. And that's why this show is so important, because we don't have nothing but us being independent as our main thrust. We want to be free. We don't want white folks ruling over us forever and our children and grandchildren. I mean, what kind of people are we? We're not even considering that.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say,
go ahead, Brother James.
Yeah, real quickly. When I heard the piece that you played, I hadn't heard of it. It just made me think, and I'm not saying this about the sister Angela Wright, but it made me just envision. There were two kinds of slaves. There were the ones in the field, and there were the ones in the house. And so, the ones in the house might have said, "Damn, what we gonna do now, master?" The ones outside in the field said, damn, good, that's great. Here's an opportunity. Let's put this plan together so we can get the hell out of here. And so and I'm not saying that about her necessarily, but I'm just saying that was the duality that I could hear in that message that she was in her pain that she was expressing. And so, we got to just get the field and the house Negroes together so that we can move out together.
You know, brothers, I wanted to, and we got callers. Callers, hang tight. We're going to come to you, right? I wanted to say this, brothers and sisters. It is projected that in 4 years, right, the Black American buying power in the U.S. will reach $1.7 trillion. You hear that?
Wow.
By 2030, which is comparable to the gross domestic product of Mexico, Canada, and Italy. Right? So we're about $1 trillion economy already. Or if we're not exactly that, we're close to it. So what does it look like for us to harness that?
Man.
Because, brothers and sisters, my point is the politics that we are using has not worked. It has not given us a permanent solution. So you thought that diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? Just 4 years ago. Think of that now. That's what's coming. It's dead, brothers and sisters.
It's dead.
No, it's dead. It ain't happening. But did you really think that was going to continue? So we're talking about an economic vision, but we're talking about a vision that expands not just from in America, but as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, and as I have seen, man, we got people all over the world that want to do business with us. Did you hear me? But they want us to come as enlightened Black people and brothers, not as American Negroes, mimicking the behavior of their former slave masters. We're already separate. It's called segregation, where we're in an inferior condition. We make less money than them. We die earlier than them. We have less education than them. We're fighting in these corporate boardrooms and Black CEOs getting pushed out. Pretty soon you're going to see Black generals pushed out of the military, on and on and on. So at what point do we fight for the unity of ourselves under proper leadership? And I'm telling you straight up, that's the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Well, how can you say that, Naba? Because he's been calling this solution, calling this.
That's right.
He's been calling this, man. From the 1950s to the 1970s, when he started to rebuild the nation. And we tried everything else, and we ended up in the same spot. Let's bring the callers on here, brothers.
All right, we got Jason, Derek, and Mark. Y'all stand by, brother. Brother Jason, you're on WVON on Straight Words. Go ahead and talk to us, sir.
Hey, man, thank you for taking the call. I normally listen to WVON during the day. But I was intrigued by what you brothers were mentioning. The one thing that I can tell you that brought me a little satisfaction listening to you tonight is our biggest issue. One of the guests, the gentleman that's hosting the show, you're talking about cowboy hats and what they're wearing. Who gives a hell? What we need to focus on as a race is how we are going to better ourselves. When are we going to take pride and develop a culture? And then we complain about her losing the race and Kamala, and we're all scared. Well, when you promote homosexuality, men with penises saying that they're girls and they can use the women's washroom, what do you expect? And what I love about even Farrakhan, I love what he says because he is adamant about us as Black people loving each other. I fear these nappy-head Negroes running downtown, jumping all over cars more than any white person. So until I'm begging WVON and other formats to start holding us accountable and stop blaming whiteys for everything. I come from the housing project, And I got my butt up and I worked. And I got me a little bit of an education, and it panned out. You know, even a trade school, we don't discuss that. We keep talking about how terrible the white man is. But that's all I respectfully like to ask you gentlemen to please discuss on a frequent basis. And I hope that's not being disrespectful.
Oh, no, brother. We thank you for your comments, man. And I would agree with a lot of what you said, but I would add this caveat. There is nothing that we do that is not opposed by the enemy. However, nothing that the enemy does can stop us if we decide that we're going to do it. You hear me, brothers and sisters?
Go ahead.
So we are pointing out an enemy to you, but that enemy is not insurmountable. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said what? That unity, our unity, more powerful than a nuclear or hydrogen bomb. And it would solve what? About 95% of our problems? So that's you're right, brother. I agree with a lot of what you said. But we got to understand that don't come without a cost, man. And that's why our unity, our grabbing our children and taking control of them and teaching them and training them and creating opportunities for them, making their community safe for them. Because right now, we've been dependent on the enemy, and what has he created? And we are also, because we have failed, brothers and sisters, and I got to say this with the deepest of humility, we have failed to obey divine guidance. Who else we got, Brother BJ?
All right, we got Brother Derek. You're on WVON 1690 on Straight Words. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. My problem is with our community is that our youth is running rapid. There's no direction. You know, you got these guys running around with the hoods on in 90-degree weather. It's cold out now, but they definitely on. But let me say this. You got a 15-year-old getting shot in downtown Chicago. Where are the parents? Who's looking over these youth? It's just disgusting. You know, I'm 71 years old, and I want to go downtown, but I can't. I won't. But we got to get our youth under control. How you brothers, if the nation can do it, but the parents need to do it. Our communities need to do it. Because as long as these youth is out here out of control, we're not headed nowhere. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother, for calling in. Who else we got, Brother DJ?
All right, let's see here. Let me see on the line here, brother. We got Brother Mark. Brother Mark, you're on WVON on Straight Words. Go ahead and give us your comment.
Yes. Good evening. This is my first time calling this show, but I'm a forever listener to WVON. You guys mentioned Jesse Jackson.
Yes.
One of his biggest reporters was Donald Trump in 84 and 88.
Okay.
Trump was best friends with Oprah Winfrey at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was the one was behind Mike Tyson in the rape case. Those for those who say Trump is a racist. That's number one. Number two, you said something about President Clinton. It was Governor Clinton that told Barry Seal that the part that Tom Cruise played in the movie American Made told the state attorney to let him go. It was the DEA, the FBI, the CIA, all of them tried to apprehend them. Once they got to the state's attorney office, Governor Clinton called and told them release him. Number three, this is what I don't understand. William 13X, 1968, I think it is. He killed his brother. And what I read, that he got caught for murder and got paroled the same day. I didn't understand that. I don't know what that come from.
Yeah, I don't understand how that could even happen. But go ahead, brother.
And one of the killers maybe was William 13X of Malcolm. He was a former owner of the Washington Redskins and the Baltimore Orioles. His name is
Wait.
Look.
Wait, you talking about black man? Wait, what are you talking about? I'm confused here.
No, Benny Williams, he a white guy.
Okay, what does he have to do with this other brother you mentioned?
Yeah.
William 13X.
Yeah.
He was the one of the killers that killed Malcolm. So somehow,
okay, but what does this other the football team owner? What does he have to do with this man? This other brother, with this brother?
Yeah.
What's the connection between them?
I don't know, because at the time I thought the white man was the devil. That's what I want to know.
But
so
okay,
let me make my point. Let me make my point.
Yeah, please.
Also, I come in peace, brother. I'm not trying to divide and conquer.
Hey, brother, we are not going to be divided. We're just going to have a conversation. So you go on and make your point, okay? Yeah, we good.
And also, the nation's best national spokesman ever had was Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Almost the same way what happened to Malcolm. Farrakhan wrote to a U.S. District Judge, J.J. Owen Forrester, to help condemn Khalid due to the speech.
Absolutely. Brother, hold on. Let me stop you right there. Let me tell you something right there. That never happened. Let me give you the actual facts on that. Brother Khalid was caught by the federal government trying to purchase a home in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. They were going to sentence him for using his name with somebody else's social security number and send him to jail. The minister wrote the judge saying, do not send him to jail, turn him over to me, and we will take care of him. And the judge didn't do it. That's how they went. That's how that went. Now, show me a letter you got from the minister writing,
you can look it up.
Khalid to a judge.
You can look it up.
No. There is, because you bring the receipts, because you saying you got them.
I got receipts. I have a library at home.
Okay, well, let's keep going, brother. Keep going. Let's wrap this up.
Yes, sir. So after that, that's how Khalid removed himself from the nation. So Farrakhan, Muhammad loved Farrakhan so much that he named his own son after him.
As many have.
Yes.
As many have. He's not the only one.
Did Khalid die as a Muslim of the nation, or did he die as a Black Panther Party?
From what I know, he was buried as a Black Panther, right? Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, so that tells you where he decided he stood. But he's never been disrespected by the nation.
Farrakhan had wrote the judge because
no, sir, brother. He never wrote a judge condemning Khalid.
Can I finish my comment?
You can, but I'm not going to let you tell untruths if you can't bring the receipts to show it. But you're not going to.
This is my first time calling you. I don't have the time.
No. Hey, brother, you about to be cut off, man. Let me be clear with you. Ain't nobody coming on here lying about my minister, man. No, I'm not calming down at all. Nobody is coming on this show lying about my minister. Now you got something else to say, you can wrap it up.
You can look it up with him.
Thank you for calling, brother. Let's go to the next call. Not wasting no time, man. We give you time. And we respect you. But you will not come on this show lying about my minister. You're lucky I gave you the time that you did, man. But we're trying to show that we can dialogue. But minister ain't never wrote no judge about locking Khalid up. You can't find it nowhere. Let's go, man. Who else we got?
Big Brother Barney. Assalamu alaikum. It's hot, Brother Barney.
Well,
That's right.
oh, brother,
Yes,
nobody yesterday to fired you up, good brother.
Yes, sir. The torch.
You brought me on too soon. I don't want brother Naba'a to continue that fire on him, brother. But
That's right.
no,
Go ahead.
no, brother. And what surprises me, to speak in for, thank first of all, assalamu alaikum, brothers.
Excellent, sir.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Just for that comment, and others who they talk about Malcolm and Khaled, and others talk about what they want to do. They see this great man, even Brother Khaled, and I hate people talking about Khaled, don't know him. We live with that man.
Come on, man. Come on.
With that man. So
Come on.
My concern with these people that love Khaled was a follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad under the stewardship of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And if they didn't fall in, then they didn't have no love for Khaled. So all I want to ask is, who approached you? Was it Barzini or Salasso? That's what I want to know. Because if you love Khaled, you would have fell in. Khaled didn't become no Black Panther. Khaled was a leader, and he went and led organizations, and he was leading them to Allah, his messenger. Go back and listen to any tapes that he had, even when he was working with the Black Panthers. He went over to Uganda with Dada. That didn't make him a Ugandan. They need to stop that foolishness. Khaled loved the minister and was making his way back to him. And the government saw that he was coming back to unite with his father, and they took him out. Bottom line. But let's don't even go farther than that. I just wanted to say on this issue that we're dealing with, I always want to make sure that we get back to finding where are we in Scripture as students dealing with this. And I just wanted to look because everybody's talking about unity. Well, the messenger gave us the best and only solution. And he said that was separation.
Go ahead.
So everybody's steady trying to figure out how to make this thing work. And they want to blame this one or the youth. Don't blame the youth. That's an indictment on us. So don't blame the youth. Right. You want to say, well, I don't see the white man doing this. That's because you don't see the white man. And you don't see the hidden hand that's doing this. When you look at that youth, look on his forehead, stamp made in America. So we need to stop that. But finally, let's look at where we are in history. Moses had two problems. Pharaoh didn't want to let the people go, and the people didn't want to go.
People didn't want to leave, right.
So there were some issues with Pharaoh. The first one, that was your first trump. Then Allah came and softened a little bit. That was your body. It made it look like he ain't soft. It just looked like he softened it.
Right.
But now you're getting them Pharaoh, the last one, who's going to take your straw and make your own bricks. Go find your own straw. That's the one that will negotiate with Moses to get our people through. This is this Trump. We have to go and see where we are in history. We're on our way out of this. There is no unity in this. You're not going to vote your way in it. You're not going to come together in unity with no organization in it. If you don't get behind the program of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad under the stewardship of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you're going to hell with the beast. They asked the messenger, what happens if those that don't want to separate you? He said the devil could have them. May Allah bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Great point, brother.
Got it. All right, brother. 773.
Call
591-689. We got some more. We got some more people on the line. They calling in.
Hold on. Hold on. Sir. I don't want you to go nowhere. But I wanted to come back to, well, in a sense, pick up on what Brother Barney said. And brothers and sisters, callers, we're almost at the top of the hour. So I'm going to say something real quick. Then we can bring somebody on for maybe about 3 minutes. But if you rather hold we can go through the commercials and we can come back and we can continue this conversation and we can give you more time, okay? But I want to say two things. First of all, look, brother and sister, if you listen to us and if you listen to our show, we give people a lot of time to talk. We don't cut them off. We don't interrupt them. But let me be clear with everybody on one thing. See, you're not coming on this show and lying or saying half-truths about the minister. I'm going to tell you real quick, that ain't happening. Now, if you have a different view, if you think there's something we should discuss, that's within the bounds. But you ain't coming on here, man, giving out misinformation and I'm telling you outright lies. And I know because I lived it, man. I knew Brother Colin. My late mentor, the great Abdul Wali Muhammad, editor of the Final Call, who gave his life in this cause. Huh?
That's right.
Who gave his life in this cause. Leaving a wife and 6 children. You know what his youngest son's name was? What was it, Brother James? What was it, Brother James? Farrakhan. And there are many who have loved the minister and given their children that great name, their son.
That's right. Right.
So I guess if we got a caller, Brother BJ, can we ask him to hold? You know radio better. Well, that's one.
Well, yeah. I agree with you. Let's hold him over so we can give him more time because I like what you said, brother. Because we give y'all more time because we want this is some real black talk, and not only us having that black talk, we can let you do some black talk with us right here on WVON 1690, the Talk of Chicago. So, brothers and sisters, hold on. We got some more good content for you, but real important to keep this kind of show on because we got a lot of first-time callers calling in, and we want you to keep calling in, but we need your help. We need you to keep pouring in financially to help this show stay on the air because after the election, this is the number one show that you need to be listening to that is offering a alternative view in black media. You don't find nobody talking like us on radio nowhere in the country.
That's right.
Right.
That's true.
So what y'all need to do is go to our website, straightwords.com, and find out all the information on how you can make a monetary donation to this radio program. We have to pay every week to be on the air, and we thank everybody for rallying around us this week, getting these donations in, man. It's a beautiful thing when we come together in unity. This is what we talk about. Unity. Keep a show like this on the air by unifying with us, Brother James G. Muhammad, Brother Naba'a Muhammad, yours truly, Brother BJ. So go to straightwords.com and you can hear some of the previous shows that we've done the past year and a half, and you'll enjoy what you are consuming because this is what you need to be consuming, the life-giving teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the radio right here on WVON 1690. This is the Talk of Chicago. So, Brother Michael, Charles, and Cliff, hang on. We're coming right back after the top of the hour break right here on WVON 1690, the Talk of Chicago.
The Talk of Chicago and the voice